Hi there, it's Karen at Corrie Paper Crafts here. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Scotland. Thanks for dropping in again today, and this time I'm still sticking with the Sweet Talk suite, which I'm doing a bit of a focus on this week, and it's a little box that I designed to fit a little chocolate brownie. Nice and easy to make, and it's just a lovely little gift to give someone as a thank you, or as a just because, or even as a Valentine's gift as well. It's entirely up to you, even for birthday. It doesn't have to be for Valentine's Day. I do apologise for being out of puff. I still have long COVID, and I've just come upstairs after being downstairs to pick something up, so it takes me a wee while to get my breath back, so I do apologise for that. So I've made this box in real red, and I'm going to stick with real red but just change the papers over a little bit. So what you're going to need to make the box is a piece of cardstock which measures 8 3/4 inches by 4 3/4. I'm only going to do the video in inches, but I will pop the metric measurements in the description bar below. So a little bit of scoring. I'll just grab my scoreboard. So to start off with, excuse me, on the long side, score at 3, 4, 7 and 8. Turning it around to the short side, and it doesn't matter which way you turn it because we're going to score the same on both sides anyway. We're just going to score on both sides at 1 inch. Excuse me. There we go. You could actually score at 1 inch and 3 3/4, but so that these are exactly the same size, just in case my cutting's off a little bit, I'm scoring at both sides at 1 inch, and that's all the scoring done. Get the scoreboard out of the way without whacking the tripod. And once you've done your scoring, you'll see that you've got a bigger section here, then at one of those inch sections, bigger section here again, another section that measures 1 inch, and then you've got this 3/4 inch excuse me, panel at the top. This is the top of the box, this is the bottom. Well, this is the top in terms of where we want to put our designer series paper, but I'll come to that. So we want to remove only 2 bits, which are these 2 little squares here, but I'm going to fold and burnish on all my score lines first. There we are. And then once we've done that, I just want to remove these 2 sections here, and that's all the waste that we're going to have from this cardstock. The rest is going to be part of the box, so we just want to take those away. We actually want to cut further down that score line, but we'll just do 1 bit at a time. So we've removed those, and then we are going to keep cutting down here and down here, but I'm going to turn it around to make it just a little bit easier. And again, removing the score lines as we go. And then we're just going to wedge in on these, because these are going to be the flaps inside the lid here, like that. So wedge either side, just like so. I do apologise, the sun has just gone behind a cloud, so it's just got a bit dark. I'll pop my lamp on, which maybe help a little bit. It was lovely and sunny till about 30 seconds ago. So the next bits we want to cut are into these squares here, and I'm going to show you how I'm going to cut these, and there's a specific reason for that. So I'm going to come to the bottom side of here, like so, and then I'm going to fold this part out of the way, and then I'm going to cut up there like that. And then I'm going to notch or wedge, if I can stop fiddling around, just like so, because these are going to be the flaps that go in the bottom of the box. And again, come to the bottom side of this score line here and cut into that score line, or towards that score line, and then to make it easier, because I'm right-handed, I'm just turning that over and I'm going to cut up there, and then I'm going to notch either side like that. Now the reason I've done it that way is because when the box all goes together like this, I want those little flaps on the bottom of the box. If I had cut in here and here, when the box went together, the flaps would end up stuck to one of the side panels. But because I don't want anything to catch on the brownie when I put it into the box, that's why, and I'm not sure if you can see into this box, that's why the flaps are joined on to the bottom. That's the only reason. If you make a mistake and cut it the other way, it doesn't really matter. Don't worry about it. Just make sure whatever you're putting in, it doesn't catch as you put it in. And then I'm going to use my detailed trio punch because I just want to round the corners on this 3/4 inch section at the top of here. So we'll do that. And I do apologise for shaking my tripod. There we are. And that gets that out of the way. So the next thing I want to do before I do anything else is I want to add my designer series paper. Now to begin with, I only put paper on the front and the sides, but I didn't like the back being plain, so I decided to put it on the back too, but you don't need a bit on the bottom because nobody's going to see that. But when the box is together, the front of your box is here, so we want to put the paper this way up, but we need to turn it round to put on that section there so that that still points the right way up. So I'm going to use a slightly different paper, still from the same suite. If you've got a directional paper, remember the top of the pattern needs to be here and the bottom here. If it's non-directional, it doesn't matter. This isn't particularly directional, but what I do want to do is my biggest love heart. I want that to be the right way up as I'm looking at the box. So I'll pop some glue round here. And centre that here. And I've not told you what size this paper is, so you will need 2 panels for the front and back, which each measure 2 5/8 by 2 7/8. So that's what size these panels are here, and you're just aiming for an even border all the way around. So give that a bit of a press on the back. And then I'm going to turn it round so that again I've got top and bottom for my pattern here, and that's got a lollipop right in the middle, so that's the way I want this to be facing. But sometimes it's easier to use a non-directional pattern and then you don't have to worry about that. What I like about this box is I've not used any fancy techniques or even lots of products, to be honest. It's just a nice easy box basically to make with what you have. There we are. And then when we put the box together, it's going to come up like this, and these edges on the front panel are going to go round the sides, so I want to put my side pieces of paper on here. Now there is a shorter one for the top of the lid, so I want to make sure that I've got the right ones for the right sections. There we are. And these 2 panels for the sides measure 2 7/8 by 7/8. So I'm going to pop those on. Oops, while trying to drop it. And again, I'm just facing them the way I think looks best in terms of my love hearts, that's all. But otherwise I wouldn't be too worried, and I'm just getting an even border all the way around. And then pop this one on too. This bottle of glue is actually coming to the end, but it's really warm today, so it's a lot more runny than it usually is. So you either get no glue coming out or lots of glue coming out. Can't win. But we are, although it's really sunny, we are expecting snow apparently later on, so I'm hoping that that's not why the sun's just suddenly disappeared, but we don't have anywhere to go, so I'm not too worried. I will be staying in with a hot cuppa, watching it from the window. The days of our kids being young, they're both grown up and out of the house now, but those were the days when we used to go out and play in the snow, but not so much now. So there we are, you can see the box coming together now, and the last bit we have to put on is here. So again, we want the pattern to be facing us at the top of the box. If you're not too worried, don't worry about it, but if you are, just make sure you've got it facing the way that you want it, or you're going to have to peel it off or stick a bit on top. There we are, and again I'm just looking at that love heart and getting it the right way up, that's all. I think that's kind of straight. That'll do for now. Turn it over and just a bit of a press. So I want to put some tearing tape along here and on the back side of these panels here as well. I've given up trying to do my tape runner, so bear with me while I pop bits of tearing tape on. And just to keep it neat at the edges, I am going to use my, if I can get a hold of it, my little ruler, just to get neat edges on here. Don't need any more than one piece on these bits because they're just going to be on the bottom of the box, but we need at least one bit for it to join on to the rest of the box. So I'm going to put a piece near the crease and a piece at the edge, just like that, on both sides of there. And then I've seen one last little bit that I want to trim before I put the box together. So that's our tearing tape done. And the last little bit I just saw that I want to trim is taking the score lines off the end of these panels. It makes absolutely no difference whatsoever, but that hurts my head. So getting rid of them. So remove the backing from the tearing tape and just put the box together. Fold over any bits that are overlapping, and we want to bring this folded edge here to this straight edge here, like so, and that's what forms the bottom of this box. There we are. And then I'm going to do one side at a time to put the sides on, but I'm just going to make sure that those are nice and crisp at the corners. So I'm going to do one side at a time, and I'm just going to keep my box sitting flat just now until I bring this up and round, but then I want to make sure that I keep pushing on this and that this is straight top and bottom to stick it together, and then the same on the other side. Please excuse my rabbit who's decided to start digging a tunnel, I'm not sure where to. And again, just holding these together until that tape catches. There we are. And press down just to make sure those are stuck. Now the one thing I didn't do was put my finger notch in here, and I'm just wondering what I've got punch wise. I've actually got a couple of retired punches which I'll have to dust before I bring it anywhere near underneath the camera. This is my 1 3/8 of an inch punch. I'm just going to centre it and take a notch out like so. Oops. But what I did for this one, and I didn't get it quite in the middle, was I used the heart punch. If you look, I'll just show you on the edge of here. If you just use one of the bits at the top of your heart, it lets you do a finger notch. Or I'm trying to think, the ice cream cone punch has a bit that you could use, the snowman punch has a bit that you could use, so just use whatever you've got. Pop the chocolate brownie in and close the lid, and there we are, and it's a nice tight fit. So in terms of decoration, just again use what you've got. I actually, this time round, for these I used some hearts that I used just in my last video, like this, that I had punched out having stuck some of the designer series paper onto basic white cardstock. But you can also just die cut the hearts out from the paper and stick those on, which is what I did here. I didn't worry too much about backing them onto cardstock. And my plan with these was that Hug Me, I was going to cover up with this love heart here. Again, I used these 3 dies from the Sweethearts dies, but I'm not sure about, that's blushing, no, that's petal pink I think, and I think I want to have blushing bride behind that, and I just cut that out in the middle of one of the lollipops on that particular sheet of paper, but I think that probably looks a little bit better. And I was just going to add no, I don't want to add another colour, I want to stick to my reds and my pinks. So I'm going to use my scalloped heart punch just to cut out one of those, and I think, oops, yeah, I think I'll do that. I'll bring that down a little bit. Decisions, and then add that at the top. I think I might. Don't want to do that because I'll lose a bit of my heart. Or do I want to put it on like the other one was and have it like that? Yeah, I think I might. So I'm going to stick this one down first of all. I'm just going to use a little bit of glue to do that. Just a splodge on the back. I feel like I can't make a decision today. So I want this straight on here, or as straight as I can make it, because they're not the same shape. That'll do. And then I'm going to put this here and this here like that, or bring it down a little bit. Yeah, I think I will. So I just used dimensionals for those. which I've covered up with everything else. So I'll pop a couple of dimensionals on that. Oh no. Pop another one on, I think, just to make sure that stays stuck, and I should really have put that one down a little bit. So let's see if we can move that a little bit. Oops, there we are. So if we pop that about there, and then I'm going to overlap that a little bit like that. That'll do. So I want to put my dimensional on this side, which is this side when we turn it over. So I'll just put it right up on that side like that, because the rest, I might actually pop a glue dot on there just to hold that point down. I'm going to stick that, yeah, about there. I'm happy with that, so I'm going to stick that down, and then dimensionals on the back of the big heart. Oops, preferably not hanging off the edge. And pop that. Now, am I going to put it at an angle, or am I going to put it straight? I'm going to put it straight because, or am I? Yes, because I decided on the angle of my hearts based on my heart being straight. Oh dear, the decisions I'm having to make today, it's a trauma. There we go. And then the last thing we need to do, you probably don't need to guess, I'm going to add some of these iridescent rhinestones. As I've said before, they are part of the suit. So now I think I might get away with putting a big one here, because we've got quite a space there, so that was quite good. And actually we could probably fit a medium-sized one in there and toty one down the bottom. There we are. Quite happy with that. So that's my quick and easy brownie boxes that are a gift for whatever occasion you want them to be. I think you can see this scalloped heart a little better than this one, but I do like them both. Let me know below which one you prefer, and let me know if you decide to make one as well. So thanks again for watching. If you did like the project, give me a thumbs up, that would be great, and constructive comments are always welcome, but just be kind. If you haven't already subscribed to my channel, I would love it if you would, because I'm aiming to get to 500 subscribers and I'm well on my way to that, so that would be lovely. And clicking on the bell icon beside it makes sure that you get a notification when I next post a video. So thanks again for watching. There will also be a link to my shop down below, so if you don't already have a demonstrator and you're in the UK, France, Germany, Austria or the Netherlands, you can shop via my shop, and there's also a link to that down below as well. All the products are available at the time of filming and posting this video. So thanks again, take care, and I'll see you again soon. Bye bye.